Chris.
Yes.
How are you?
Things are incredible right now. Obviously we've had some things go over the last year that has made it all across the news everywhere in rock and metal. But right now, Five Finger Death Punch is the strongest this band has ever been. From personal relationships to the way we're playing on stage to the set we're bringing over here to Europe. Actually, this is the first time this huge set is being seen right here in Europe. We're taking over to the States next year, but Europe's getting the huge stage show for the first time over here.
This might sound counterintuitive in a way, but having gone through what you've gone through, was that necessary to get you closer?
You know, they always talk about having to go through the storms to get to the sunshine and rainbows. I think that's definitely happened. One of the things that happened just the other day is, it sounds silly on a certain level, but we all, after a show, usually split. Everybody goes in their general different directions. But a couple times on this tour, we've all had dinner together after the show, and everyone's getting along. Once you get that one terrible negative element of addiction out of there, it makes everything else kind of fall into place and makes us the band that we are again today. Finally.
I didn't want to jump into the heavy bit this early, but because you are someone who gave up alcohol some time ago, so. Have you seen your bandmate going through that? What was it like for you?
Well, I mean, I still struggle a little bit on that on myself. Right now, it's actually good that we have all come together on this tour. This is our first time out since Ivan has gone through his issues, and we are all rallying around him. There's no drugs, no alcohol, no nothing within our camp. So we all are aware of the possibility of things that could have happened and are much more appreciative of the things we have now, and are doing everything possible to make sure that we're able to keep on being a band, keep on playing the music, keep on coming out and doing shows for the fans out there as well. So I feel like we had to go through that to make us appreciate things again.
Have you noticed the change in creativity as well?
That was one of the things that as a band, when you have that kind of thing going on, you really never know, like, is that responsible for the creativity or is the individual responsible for the creativity? We had to go back and do 2 new songs for the new record coming out next year because we took 2 songs from that record and put them on the Greatest Hits record. So I remember we had the music done, and we always do the music first and then send it off to Ivan, let him do his thing on there. As individuals, we don't want to be standing over top of him and be like, hey, we need you to do this. Dude is incredible at what he does. You do it and let us hear it, So very free to do whatever he wants to do in the studio. And we were at the studio, and I hadn't heard the final product yet. I got there late, and it's like, Kael, listen to this. What do you think? I sat down. Music started. 10 seconds into the verse, I immediately sent Ivan a text. I was like, dude, welcome back. Good to have you back, man. He is still Ivan Moody. He's able to connect to people on a certain level that very few people can do. Very visceral, right down the center. Able to touch a lot of emotions that everyone else is going through. And he's great at what he does, and damn good to have that dude back.
Do you know why he's that good? Because I've spoken to him before, but do you know why he can cut through that?
I really don't know. I mean, it's his delivery. His ability to speak to everyone directly, and kind of a creative ambiguity where it allows people to kind of read into the lyrics as well. So he's great at what he does. It's great to be able to, as a backup vocalist too, to be able to have that dude up there with that incredible voice and me be able to sing along behind him and support him up there as well. So yeah, dude's incredible. The whole thing's incredible right now. It really feels good to be in a band.
That's very good to hear. Yeah. So before we continue into kind of the latest release and the music, I'd like to jump back and focus on you a little bit.
Okay.
Do you remember when you figured out that music was something more to you than just
100%.
Another thing?
100%. Age of 4 years old, I saw Gene Simmons from Kiss on a show called 3-2-1 Contact. They were talking about Kiss's crew and the lighting and all that stuff. And I remember at that age, I saw him and I was like, I don't know what he's doing, but whatever it is, that's what I want to do. And I think I'm probably the only person I can think of that I know personally that at the age of 4 knew what the hell they wanted to do and is actually doing that now at a little older than 4.
And it's quite difficult to know, especially at that time. But what attracted you to a rock show?
I really don't even know. I think it hit me at the right time. My mom was also a musician as well. She plays the flute, and so I had music around in my family. And I credit my work ethic to my dad, because he was always busting his ass and making sure things got done to make sure that food was on the table and we were able to be the family that we were. So a combination of those two people and seeing Kiss on TV, being allowed to watch Kiss at age 4 on TV. Thanks, Mom and Dad, for giving me the rope, the leeway and the rope to be able to do that kind of thing,
And you mentioned the work ethic, and I think especially going into the music business, it is a very volatile business. There's no guarantees. So
I don't know what you're talking about. Business volatile? No way. But things happen? No.
when you kind of started into the business, what was your mentality?
I mean, even today, some of the business. I'm not the business guy. I mean, I'm aware of things that are going on, but there are people in the band that is their thing. And, it's again with anything that you do, if you get a group of people together, each person needs to have their role. And it's growing up listening to Kiss, Iron Maiden, Motley Crue, Slayer, Metallica, you don't really think about that side of things. And then you get here and you're like, oh, wait a minute. So thank God that other people have really focused on that to make sure that they got their hands on the head of everybody else doing
So luckily you've never been distracted by...
I wouldn't say I've never been distracted. It's just not my focus. Not my own personal focus, right. Thank God.
And then, because I heard the story about how you got with Five Finger Death Punch.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was very do-it-yourself attitude. I'm going to go for this.
Oh, yeah.
What gave you the confidence? This is going to sound weird maybe, but what gave you the confidence? Where did the drive come from?
I have always wanted to do this forever. Ever since I saw that, I've been playing in bands since I was like 14. I was that guy that got a bass at the age of 14. 2 weeks later, I was like, oh, I can be in a band now. I'm ready to roll. I own a bass. I can play music in a band now. So I've always wanted to do it. I was always focused on songwriting, always focused on the performance, the marketing. Anybody who knows me, knows I'm a pretty solid marketer out there. I mean, hell, to have come from behind the bar, an unknown person 6 years ago, and have to fit into this monster that's Five Finger Death Punch, you got to have a little bit of marketability and ability to market yourself to put yourself up to the level of people that were already there, But yeah, with that particular thing, I was bartending in Vegas. I had almost given up on the dream of playing rock and roll.
How come?
I was 36 at the time. And at 36, what are the chances of, I had toured, I'd played, I'd been on some records, I'd done pretty much everything I wanted to at that point without getting to where I'm at now, thankfully. So I was comfortable, it was cool. And again, the odds aren't favorable for any band to have any sort of success, period, let alone a 36-year-old bartender in Vegas. And I was like, okay, maybe I've got this good job in Vegas, I'm a good marketer, I want to open up like a little 6 or 8 room hotel in Belize with a beachfront bar. Bartending's my background from Vegas. And I was like, I'm making good money. If I put this towards it, I can do that for sure. So new goal, let's go. One night I went to go see System of a Down at the Palms, and I used to always do this thing where I would look at the band and look at the crowd and be like, oh, someday that crowd's going to be mine. That night when I did it, something went off in my head like, dude, if you want it, go after it. You haven't gone after this one yet. You've gone through friends and kind of not really gone directly after it, but anything you've wanted that you've gone after, you've gotten it, but you haven't done it with this. I'm like, okay, cool. So that night, I went home, got on Facebook, used the power of social networking to get directly to the band, and I was like, I'm going to find somebody in the band, reached out to Jason Hook, sent him a very, very confident message of basically, hey, I'm Chris, I live here in Vegas, I hear you're looking for a bass player, look no further, I'm your guy. Check your mutual friends. I'm sure they'll all give me a positive recommendation. Vegas is a very small town with a bunch of musicians, so we had a lot of mutual friends. It's like, all I'm looking for is an audition. Give me a call back. Next day, Jason messaged me back. He's like, that was very forward, but I like it. He's like, how are your background vocals? And stuff I did before Death Punch, I was singing main vocals and doing bass, so I was confident in that. And that's what they were looking for, was somebody that could sing, do the harmonies, do the backups with Ivan, and maintain the presence up there. And so 6 years later, here I am. Go after it, kids. No one's going to do it for you.